So, Yaar Belli, sat sri akal, and a warm welcome after that short commercial break. This is myself, RJ Raman, like every Sundays 2 to 4, playing the greatest hits of Punjabi music. And today's show is very interesting. Like every show, I'm always in talks with an artist, music producer, songwriter, or an artist or a film actor as well from the Punjabi film industry. But today I've got a very interesting guest who's been around in the industry for a while now, and he started his career as an MMA fighter, and now he's actually a renowned international Punjabi artist. I'm talking about the man himself, Subaig Singh. I mean, he's been given many collections of music he's given out there, and he's made massive tracks. And today we're going to be having a chat with him regarding two tracks he's released this month, titled as Yaar Belli and a dharmic song titled as Rabaab. I mean, it's interesting concepts he's got there, two different tracks of two different styles, and he's took out his time today to have a chit chat regarding these tracks. I mean, it's an absolute pleasure I got him on the show, because I've been after him for quite a long time now, and finally got him on the show now. So I want to give a massive shout out to each and every one of you who are tuned in right now, and those who are listening and who are the fans of Subaig Singh as well. Warm welcome on the show to you guys as well. So I've got Subaig Singh on the line right now to have a chit chat with us. So, Subaig Singh, a warm welcome on the show on Yaar Belli, sat sri akal, and how are you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Fantastic. It has been a while since I'm trying to look for you, but I finally got you on the show today. So, fantastic. So the journey is interesting. So, from an MMA fighter to a doctor and now a world-renowned Punjabi artist. I mean, how's the journey been so far for you?
Yeah, it's been a very interesting journey. I definitely didn't plan my life, to be this way. So it's definitely very unplanned and very random. I think I've definitely had an interesting and colourful life so far.
Fantastic. It surely has, because looking at where it all started from and where it's all reached, I mean, it's a proud moment, So, I mean, Subaig, when you come in towards, the learning and the education side, I mean, staying connected with the Punjabi roots and the music, I mean, that plays a big part in life. So, I mean, talking about your childhood days, let's go down memory lane. I mean, what sort of music used to get played in your house?
To be honest with you, we used to listen to everything growing up. We used to literally, whatever was in. I remember being a big Shaggy fan when I was a kid.
Wow.
Used to sing all the Shaggy tracks, and Inni Kamosi and stuff like that. Here Comes the Hot Stepper. all these kind of like, reggae vibe, style of tracks.
Wow.
And obviously, had a big Punjabi music influence in our house as well. Just anything and everything. I mean, my parents wanted me to learn Kirtan as I was growing up, so I took Kirtan classes, learned to play harmonium, tabla as well. And then we had the Punjabi folk and the Bhangra, so just a bit of everything really.
Fantastic. I mean, did you ever think that one day you would become an inspiration, or would say a role model for many people out there?
To be honest with you, not really, and I still don't really. I mean, I'm just a human being. I've lots of imperfections, and I've lots of good things about me, and I'm sure I've got plenty of bad things about me as well. So, it's never really, I've never really, considered myself in that vein. But obviously, it is very flattering and something to be proud of if people do see me as a role model as well. So, I'm very happy if I've been able to inspire people, to do certain things. So, but in answer to your question, I didn't think that, I would have that kind of impact, I guess.
Fantastic. I mean, you've given a wide collection of tracks so far. I mean, now you're back with two brand new songs. I mean, Yaar Belli and Rabaab. I mean, so tell us what Yaar Belli is all about first. I mean, tell us about that track.
So, prior to Yaar Belli, I'd done a couple of Bollywood star tracks, kind of commercial tracks which appeal to the Bombay and Delhi markets.
Yeah.
Punjabi music's quite commercial out there. It's very sort of nightclub orientated and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When I started off my musical journey, I started off with very raw, hardcore Punjabi folk, which is my passion. It's the thing that I'm into the most. Then after that, I started doing more Bhangra. I tried to do more commercial stuff. Obviously, when you go into music, initially, probably a lot of people go in and trying to make the music that they're passionate about, and it doesn't take long for them to realise that they're actually going to have to cater for certain markets, and they're going to have to turn it into business and make it commercial. So this time round, my last couple of tracks were Bollywood-style tracks. As you probably well know, right now it's wedding season in Punjab, so the DJs are wanting to blast out some Bhangra, and with Bhangra, it's kind of like a slight supply and demand situation. DJs are playing whichever tracks are in that season, so we thought, look, let's get a hardcore dance Bhangra track out there. And capitalize on the wedding season, get everybody dancing, and it's proved to be a good move. It's doing well.
Fantastic. Because I've looked at your collection of music in the past. I mean, you've worked with, various producers and stuff, and looking at the start of your music career as well. So, I mean, now that you're working with various producers, I've noticed that you've worked very closely with one of the finest Punjabi music producers, Popsy Music Machine. I mean, tell us how you got to know Popsy and how's it been the journey working with him so far?
Yeah, so we're going back probably 3-4 years, and I'd stopped doing my MMA for, I'd actually stopped for a few years by that point. I'd had a big following as an MMA fighter. I think generally the Punjabi community, Sikh community were backing me as being a Sardar fighting MMA. It was a rare thing. Everyone was very proud. So I had this big following. When I stopped fighting, I still had this following, I just wanted to find a way to stay engaged with the people that were following me. And obviously, I felt I had other things to offer, so I'll do these crazy comedy skits, some mad comedy skits I would do, and then sometimes I would just, find some old folk Punjabi songs and sing them a cappella on my phone and put them out on Facebook, and people were, I was getting a lot of love for that. Wow. And, when I started doing that on a regular basis, it wasn't long before Popsy just messaged me randomly in my inbox, and he introduced himself and said, my name is Popsy, I'm a music producer, and I like your voice, and are you interested in doing a track? And, obviously, I kind of laughed because he's introducing himself as if I haven't heard of who he is, because wow. This is not too long after, he'd released big hits like Singadiya Gadiyan and Nanak 2 and stuff like that. So, so I was like, I'd love to do something. And obviously at that time, I was known as a fighter, so he was thinking, let's do a track along the lines of, Jim Vich Muscle Banai Firda, or, that kind of testosterone track. Yeah. And I said to him, well, to be honest with you, Popsy, I'm really into sad songs, Punjabi folk, Surinder Shinda, Kuldeep Manik, those old kind of folk songs, music pieces by the likes of Charanjit Ahuja, harmonium pieces. Wow. And he said, wow, I'm really into that as well. I learned all my music pieces from Charanjit Ahuja, I'd love to do something like that. So that's when we collaborated, and we did my first track, Tere Jhoothe Nahi Lare, which is a very, very raw folk song. It's a sad song, and to be honest with you, we just gelled. We just clicked. It was I think maybe we had some kind of past life connection or something. I don't know, but it's obviously he's a very, very high caliber musician, very, very versatile, very, very skilled, definitely. Very, very humble human being. And for me, just to kind of connect with him like that, it's there must have been a plan from a higher place, to be honest. And to say that we're still working together today and very, very close, musically, we talk every day and we plan stuff, and it's an amazing relationship we have.
Fantastic. I mean, you've been mentioning about the Punjabi folk side. I mean, you can actually notice that in your voice. I mean, the element of the folk style music. I mean, considering you've done a lot of commercial songs as well, are you looking to do some Sufi music in the future? I mean, it kind of fits that kind of element,
I'd do it. Yeah, I'd do it. I mean, Sufi music is very enjoyable to do. It's very enjoyable to perform, and very enjoyable to listen to. It's very, very peaceful stuff. So of course, I would definitely. I wouldn't rule out anything. If you'd asked me 3 years ago, what do you want to do, I would have just said I want to do Punjabi folk. That's it. Yeah. Now, I'll give anything a go.
Wow, fantastic. I mean, talking about a dharmic song, what you're calling. I mean, we're celebrating worldwide the 550th Gurpurab of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. I mean, you've come with a dharmic song, which is completely different to the songs what you've done previously, titled as Rabaab. I mean, tell us about this track. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, tell us a bit about this.
Yeah. So, obviously, occasionally when you're having conversations, the idea of a dharmic track does come up, and it's kind of something which I'd try to avoid. Obviously, in my personal life, I'm religious in my own way, but in a personal capacity, but in a musical capacity, I'd kind of try to stay away from it, because I wanted to focus on other things, and I guess one of the reasons was I thought that I didn't want to be stereotyped. As obviously I'm a sub it's very, very visual, and if I started doing dharmic tracks, I didn't want people to think that I'm either a preacher or I'm somebody who just wants to do dharmic tracks. It'd be very, very quick and to get labelled in that sense, and then it'd be difficult for me then to deviate away from it. So I'd avoided doing dharmic tracks purely for that reason. It was the idea actually came from Gurcharan Mal, the Dole King.
Wow.
And he has coordinated a dharmic album for the 550th Gurpurab called the World Artist Album. And, he got various artists from all over the world together to contribute a track on it. He approached Popsy, and then Popsy approached me. And we thought, well, we haven't done a dharmic track. We've been at it for 3 years. We've actually got a great opportunity to be part of a wider project, and the whole Pant is coming together to celebrate 550. There's no better opportunity to do something like this than the present. To be honest with you, we worked at breakneck speed to get the song written, composed, produced, and then the video shot, because it was a very last minute project.
Wow, I mean, like you mentioned, this project, I would say is this year's biggest UK production, the Gurpurab 550 World Artists, by Gurcharan Mal. It's a massive, massive thing. Having your track featured on there is also a fantastic thing, because looking at the style of the track and the feel, the vibe, also mentioning the video as well. It's been shot in Jaipur, I believe. Tell us a bit that. How was your feeling, during the shooting?
Yeah, again, completely unplanned. Dharmic project. Most people view Dharmic projects as a seva project, and of course it is. But that normally, also means that most people regard it as a non-commercial thing. So, our initial thing was that we weren't going to make a video. That most people would do a lyrical video for it, or would feature on the album. But once I heard the quality of the production, and just so impressed with what Popsy had done with it, that we just thought it'd be a real shame, because as you know, in this day and age, if you don't make a video for a track, it's only going to go so far, and people want to see as well as listen in this day and age. So, again, it was unplanned. We were going to Jaipur anyway for my mum's 60th birthday. My mum has always dreamt about going to Rajasthan since she was a child for her 60th. So we went to Udaipur, Jodhpur, Jaipur, and we thought, okay, while we're in India, Jaipur is known to be a very picturesque and beautiful city. Lots of beautiful architecture, nice scenery, and very royal, very regal place. So we called my cousin down from Punjab, who makes videos. Ever since he found out that I'd got into music, he'd always used to message and say, "Paji, sanu bhi mauka de do, give us a chance, and stuff like that." So we said, "Ajamundia, this is your time now." So he came down with 2-3 lads, brought a DSLR camera, and we shot the video. It was a very, very low budget video, but very impressive work. I had a lot of compliments on the quality of the video. Very, very simple. And sometimes it just shows, basic and simple can carry the day.
Absolutely. Like you mentioned, although it's low budget, but it looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Visualizing that is just phenomenal. Coming to all the fashion side as well, because I would class you as one of the proper Sardars, but having like a trendy look as well at the same time. Tell us a bit about the fashion side of the clothing side of Subaig Singh. This experimenting of different fashion,
To be honest with you, day-to-day Subaig Singh is basically like just a normal guy in a tracksuit, to be honest. I'm in the gym a lot. I love being comfortable, just wearing a tracksuit, wearing a patka, and not really caring too much what I look like. Obviously, when I go to work, being an A&E doctor, most of the time I'm dressed in pajamas anyway, wearing. To be honest with you, if you were to see me right now on a normal day-to-day basis, I'm quite scruffy looking. But I've got this other side to me where, you know, if I'm in you know, it's time to dress to impress, then I've got this other streak where I like to go to town a little bit. And I guess maybe that's the performer in me or something, you know. So I like to make a bit of an effort. I like to coordinate my paggan and shirts and wear cravats and wear mad stuff. And obviously with videos as well, you know, you got to look the part as well, haven't you? So
Definitely.
So yeah, you know, clothing and image is a part of performing. So yeah, that's the way I see it in you know, in my world. I don't take it too seriously. You know, I think some people are a bit too they're into their dress a bit too much, you know, and they take a bit too long to get ready all the time. You know, that's not me. But you know, on occasions I'll make an effort. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I mean, I'm quite impressed the fact that, you know, being a Sardar, UK born and bred, you've kept that look, you kept that identity, and you've just gone worldwide, you know. So I would class that as an inspiration for many people out there, you know.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
so I mean, those who are tuned in into the show right now on Akash Radio, I mean, they're saying that how does Subaig Singh plan his time management, being a full-time doctor and also working on music? I mean, tell us how do you manage this?
Well, actually, I work as a doctor part-time, a couple of days a week as a locum. And so, yeah, you know, I work in A&E, I work through an agency, and yeah, wherever work is available, you know, I'll do a few shifts a week. And the rest of the time, you know, I'm either training or, you know, doing music, planning video shoots, and, yeah, doing something musical, I guess. So, yeah, it's quite a nice balance I've got, you know, where I can, you know, earn a living and pursue this at the same time.
Fantastic, fantastic. I mean, Subaig, I mean, in this show, we always have some on-the-spot questions, right? Just to make a bit of humor, add a bit of humor, add that masala on the show, right? So, starting off with Desi Chai or Valetti Chai?
Valetti.
Right, okay, Valetti. So, dream destination?
Thailand.
Thailand, wow. Why Thailand specifically?
Because I went there in 2010 to train. I went Thai boxing for a month and absolutely loved it. Wow. And I've been a couple of times since. So if I ever get an opportunity to go to Thailand to train, then yeah, that's definitely my ideal place to go over anywhere else.
Wow, fantastic, fantastic. I mean, next one, which is more important, truth or happiness?
Whoa.
That's a tricky one now. I'll stop you there.
Truth or happiness? But yeah, man, happiness.
Right. That was tricky. That was a tricky one. So,
very tricky one, yeah.
So, would you rather be rich or famous?
Famous.
Famous. Why famous?
Because most people who are rich try and get famous.
Wow, that was a straight answer. That's to the point. That was to the point. Right. So, who do you know that really reminds you a character in a TV show?
Oh, I was going to say something really bad and I can't say it. Yeah, this guy. There's a guy who used to train me in martial arts. Dave Blackley, his name is. He trains me in Wing Chun, and he's an ex-policeman. And he is basically a spitting image of that. You remember that TV series, Life on Mars?
Oh yes. Life
on Mars. The main character in that, the policeman from the 70s. I can't remember his name, but yeah, he's like God. a spitting image of that guy.
Wow. Oh my God! Wow. You know, that's quite interesting though, because you do actually come across some people in life who actually look similar to someone, you know.
Yeah.
Wow. Next one, right? This is the final one, the interesting one for you. If you were a superhero, what powers would you have?
If I was a superhero, what powers would I have?
It's a tricky one, this.
Yeah. I ain't got a clue.
Right. So I had to add a bit of humour in that anyway. So, I mean, absolute pleasure, Subaig, to have you on the show. What message you want to give to your fans worldwide who are tuned in right now on the show anything you want to say?
I just want to say thank you very much, guys, for all your love and support. A lot of people out there, if you like my stuff, please do get in touch. Don't like it in secret. Please let me know, because when your fans and people who are following you are appreciating what you're doing, that's what makes it worthwhile. Just want to thank my family and my mum as well for all their support, and thank you for having me on.
Fantastic. Absolute pleasure, Subaig, and hoping the very best for your musical career. And hoping you'll be bringing some banging tracks for 2020 as well. I mean, a lot of artists are saying that 2020 is going to be big for Bhangra music. I mean, have you got anything lined up for next year?
I have got so much stuff lined up. I've got too much stuff lined up. Lots of tracks, all different genres of tracks. I'll send it to you. I'll send everything to you directly anyway, because I've got your details now. So, I'll keep you in the loop. But there's a lot to look forward to from me. Fantastic.
Absolute pleasure, Subaig, to have you on the show, and hoping to have you in the studio next time, because we want you down in Leeds now.
Yeah. I'd love to come down, and it'd be great to meet up in person and do it face to face, 100%.
Definitely. Absolute pleasure, and hoping the very best in your music career. And God bless.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that was the exclusive live interview with the man himself, Subaig Singh. I mean, absolute pleasure to have him on the show. I was classing him as Dr. Subaig Singh, because he's a doctor as well at the same time. So we have to give that credit. We need to give that respect, man, right? So Dr. Subaig Singh was on the show today, so it was an absolute pleasure to have him. And I'm loving the tracks, man. I mean, the track Rabaab. I mean, as we mentioned in the conversation, I mean, we're celebrating the 550th Gurpurab of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. I mean, it's a historic moment. I mean, worldwide, every single country across the globe is celebrating this. I mean, also mentioning the interesting album. I would say this year's UK's biggest production, Gurpurab 550 World Artists. I mean, worldwide artists are giving their time and efforts to come up with Dharmic song to be part of the album. And this track, Rabaab by Subaig Singh, alongside one of the finest music producers, Popsy Music Machine, has featured their track in this album as well. So it's a fabulous track, and I'm going to be playing that track straight after the break, because I'm going to be going for a short commercial break. I'm going to be back on the show playing this track. So I'm going to be going for a small commercial break, and I'll be back after this short commercial break.